How low are your standards when it comes to who you will sleep with? You always hear that men will have sex with anything. Do you have any standards for who you sleep with? Are they high or low? First of all, they have to be female and want to sleep with me. Second, I need to be attracted to them. Those eliminate a lot right there. Alive and at least 21. Preferably older. They were always high. Part of that is childhood trauma though. I need to fully trust a person before I let them touch me. My wife is the only one I have ever been with. And I intentionally pushed girls away that I could have had an opportunity with back in my late teenage years before dating her. But the standards weren't about being with some supermodel fantasy. It was about trusting someone and having an emotional connection. Well, I would only sleep with someone I see a long-term future with, so that's pretty high, right? High. I have to trust the person. Too many diseases out there and have some sort of connection with them. Also, accidental pregnancy happens, and if she decides to keep it, I don't want to be stuck with a monster of a woman just because I wanted to bust a nut. 0. None. Slightly above crack hooer. The closer to closing time, the better they look. Extremely high. I need to be in love with them. There is really no point in going home with a woman who I am not both emotionally and physically into. I would just feel hollow, empty with everything we do. I won't openly talk about my feelings. Won't take initiative. Won't give her my best in any way really. I would just be disappointed with myself and feel guilt towards her. Absolutely don't have any standards beside be kind to me. My standards are so high that there is no one who meets the criteria. That person should be female. It already writes off half of the population. And that person should be willing to have sex with me. It writes off another half. It's more preferences. I prefer women who are BBW, chubby, nerdy, on the kinky side, sex positive and open. Some people mistake that for low standards, when it's really just a different set of standards that may not be apparent at a casual glance. I have to find them attractive. Might be looks, might be personality, might be something I don't understand. I have a coworker. She's not terribly attractive. Not your typical attractive face. Not an outstanding body. Completely plain in every respect. But holy shit, I'm attracted to her. I've met some beautiful women that ticked every box I have for being beautiful. But, meh. Well, I can't afford very high standards myself. Though to be honest, even if I wanted to sleep around, I think it's not good for me. Too many risks. I'm a man, by the way. Depends on what you mean. I'm a demisexual, and can't get it up unless we have an emotional bond. Sure, I have some physical standards, but they are far less important than that bond. Used to be super low. Now, since I found self-esteem, they are surprisingly high. High enough to the point that being fit and attractive isn't enough. You actually have a decent personality and make me laugh and show a hint of intelligence. Slept with a guy the first thought I would never see again. Changed jobs and he's my lead now. Person facepalming, medium skin tone. Extremely high. 20 years with one incredible woman. My only sexual partner. No one else would measure up. I have the same standards for hookups and relationships, and honestly they're a bit too high for how I look. Emo. I've turned down plenty of women who could have been really good to me because I'm attracted to very specific things. I don't ever want to use anyone, so I do my best not to settle out of fairness to both of us. That said, hookups are obviously lower stakes, but I kinda take my standards pretty seriously. I've missed out on a few experiences for sure, but I'm just going for what feels right. I need connection before I can sleep with anyone. So I don't do hookups. Not that low, I guess. They have to be my type and catch my attention. Not anything but legal age. Fairly attractive and consenting. Sleep with and date are two different things. I'm much more picky when it comes to dating, but I'll have sex with you even if I won't date you. It gets lower the longer I go without lol. Very high. Literally limited to one person in the whole world. Perhaps desperate men. I've turned down many women in my lifetime. My standards are very low. I've slept in the bed of my pickup with dead animals before. After a long night of hunting. Alive, legal age, conscious, consenting, and ready to go. Well, you're probably gonna get a skewed response given that this is Reddit. And many of the guys on here would fuck a snake if you hold it for them. Standards decrease, as time since last lay, increases. Can't be obese and I need to be attracted to M, but that's really the only qualifications. Probably 30 of woman, it's an instant yes before I even talk to you. Alive and STD free. Back in the day, I always made the joke that my standards were ways less than me and can't smell them at 5 paces. Which I pretty much held to. Nowadays I add can't be insufferable. For context, I'm 6 feet 3,280. 6 feet 6 with a 6-figure salary is the standard for me rolling on the floor laughing. Hi. I've rejected quite a few women because I have to feel something. I hate the culture in the UK. That lads just should think about shagging anything with a pulse. Fucked a ladyboy once. Pretty low since I fuck your mom. Very high standards. Sex is not a necessity. Love is. When I was young, I was a total whore. As I matured, I learned that sex without an emotional connection usually results in trouble, your own mental anguish or worse. Now, as a friend used to tell me, I realize that sometimes it's better to just stay home and jack off. They need to look exactly like my wife with the exact same name and be married to me. I know, I'm hella picky, but I have standards. Anyone of the opposite sex age 1880 NGL. Back when I was very lonely and desperate, yes, I would have slept with anyone who treated me kindly. And wasn't a child or so geriatric that I'd have to worry about her bones snapping. Low. Or simply realistic if I consider how things have been. Just be minimally healthy and be interested in doing it with me, and that's all. Beyond that, standards are just something in the way. Meeting one person that meets these minimum requirements is hard enough. Quite high considering that at some point I went to that place where I didn't care about looks or emotional connection. All that mattered was dick hard. Let's go. Since then, I am happy to just sleep alone at night than having to run out the door immediately after. Prior to my wife just alive and awake. I have standards. Just low ones. No trans. No obese people. Not STIs. No dancing teeth. No sharp pelvises, extremely skinny. STD free and smart. All I ask for. When I'm horny, none. Before I can give you an accurate figure, first I need to ask you a few questions. How long has the dry spell been? How easy is it to get her into bed? Who's going to know about it? How sober am I? When I was younger, as long as they were consenting and my age group is on. Now I'm in my 30s. Absurdly high. Don't expect to ever find anyone again. I honestly have always felt that men's standard for looks are high. It always made me feel that the trope of men will fuck anything comes more from women who are trying to make themselves look better and put down the woman getting attention. I have to vibe with them. For relationships I need a strong connection. But for having a fun night together they need to vibe with me. Health and safety are also forefront in my concerns.